Reggae lovers, if you're like me, and you're worried about the future of our music, forget about Billboard replacing the reggae charts with Afrobeats. Forget about reggaeton being built on dancehall beats. Forget about California roots selling out stadium seats. Reggae has a much bigger threat: artificial intelligence, and it's already here. The top Jamaican reggae acts, even legends, are being outstreamed on YouTube by artists that are machine-generated. No singers, no musicians, no studio. The only human connection may be someone sitting behind a computer keyboard, typing in some words. And while this has all been happening, the Jamaican government, Minister of Culture, education institutions and media have allowed this transformation to virtually go unchallenged, unaddressed. So I thought it was time to explain to reggae fans, music lovers and musicians, the actual harm that artificial intelligence is causing. Because there's a culture clash taking place between two sounds, man versus machine. And depending on who takes the crown, this may be the final clash.
Rootsland Nation, you know the channel test.
If you're like me, your social media feeds have probably been inundated with reggae music and images that seem a little bit off, right? Beautiful Rasta women clothed like African warriors, singing songs of redemption and empowerment. And then there are ancient gray-haired Rasta warriors, tribal elders wailing songs about Jah, about freedom, about longing. Yet, something isn't quite right. The accent's a little bit iffy. The AI-generated avatars aren't quite lip-synced in time. And while the music sounds crisp and clean, there is something missing at its core: a soul. And what you're probably hearing is one of the hundreds, maybe thousands, of artificial intelligence-generated reggae groups and artists that have been flooding YouTube, Spotify, and now even on the Billboard charts. One of the most successful is the quote-unquote human-inspired machine-generated project called Let Babylon Burn, created by a guy named Robert Lancaster from Norway. His channel has got more than 270,000 subscribers and over 130 million views on YouTube and millions more on Spotify. And here's where the story gets uncomfortable. Because Let Babylon Burn isn't some kind of joke. People actually like it. They like it a lot. So instead of playing you one of his songs, I thought it might be better to pull back the curtain on this whole AI-generated music thing. I'm actually going to make a song myself, from scratch, just to show you how it all works. At the heart of an AI-generated song is something called a prompt. Basically, it's the command you feed into the computer, telling it what kind of song you want to create. And in this case, I'm going to use Let Babylon Burn's own YouTube description of his music to describe my song. Quote, a blend of acoustic roots, reggae, soul, and blues, emotionally driven storytelling, raw emotional delivery, cinematic atmosphere, themes of love, redemption, survival, and transformation. And I'll add, give it a Jamaican voice, legendary, melodic with a touch of rasp. And finally, let's add a cliche chorus. Here we stand so far apart, longing for one love in my heart. Then I'll create an imaginary singer, Jah Lion I. Then I'll hit enter. Okay, Mr. Selector, play the rhythm. It's pretty good.
Oh, no.
Sounds real.
You left your cup by the sink. Still got your key in my coat. Morning comes slow in this room. I read your silence like notes. The plate's still warm from last night. Your name still lives in my mouth. I try to act like I'm fine, but the truth keeps pulling me down. Say you still feel that pull. Say you still hear my name. I've been carrying this ache like a flame in the rain. Here we stand, so far apart, longing
And yes, that was Jah Lion I with One Love in My Heart, right here on Rootsland Radio. Well, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Was that convincing to you? Was it heartfelt? Are you feeling it? Well, that line about your name still being in my mouth was a little weird. But I'm not even sure if that matters anymore. Because Jah Lion I sounded like he was singing about pain, about longing, about redemption. But here's the thing. He never experienced any of it. He never lost somebody he loved. He never sat down with an acoustic guitar, turned his pain into a song. Because Jah Lion I doesn't exist. 5 minutes ago, neither did that song. I gave a machine a few words, pushed a button, and suddenly we had a singer. We had a voice, a story, even a past that he never lived. And yet, some of you may have liked the song, right? You may have felt it. And that's where things get a little bit uncomfortable. Because if people are actually feeling the music, if it's touching their heart and the soul, does it even matter if the person singing it ever existed? And that leads to the bigger, more important question. Why is there such a huge vacuum waiting for AI music to fill it? Because I don't see any young reggae bands flooding Jamaica's airwaves. How many young Rastafarian singers can walk onto a stage with nothing but an acoustic guitar, sing their soul out? How many can even write a song? I know they're out there. The question is whether anybody is giving them the opportunity to be heard. For decades, the same gatekeepers controlled the studios, the media, airplay, and the access. And let me ask you, how's that been going? We've lost the charts. We've lost the audience. And it's been such a long time since a new generation of reggae bands came off the island that truly broke internationally. And meanwhile, California roots and other international reggae moved into those spaces. They built tours. They've built festivals. They found an audience. And now AI has discovered that same empty seat at the table. I mean, think about what that tells us. People are still hungry for heartfelt, spiritual roots reggae. So hungry, apparently they're willing to get it from a machine. And I'm not trying to save reggae music, and I'm certainly not pretending that I do have all the answers. But I do love it with all my heart. I spent nearly 30 years producing reggae music in Kingston, and for much of that time, I had to fight Jamaica's music industrial complex every step of the way. Pay off DJs for airplay, pay off so-called journalists to get press. I watched truly deserving and talented reggae artists never receive the credit or the financial rewards they earned, and they weren't shut out for lack of talent. It's because they didn't have the right last name. They didn't have the right connections. Parents or family members that weren't already in the business. We lacked access. And when real authentic music that comes from pain and struggle and hardship isn't given the opportunity to blossom, eventually someone else comes along and manufactures it. Think about that irony. The Jamaican elites have spent decades making it difficult for ghetto people who actually live those stories to be heard. And now somebody sitting at a computer 1,000 miles away in Norway can manufacture those stories and find a real audience out there that's hungry for roots reggae because they can't find it from Jamaica? So the way Jamaica claims back the narrative, the music, claims back the audience, isn't by trying to stop AI. It's too late for that. It's by finding and supporting the human talent that's already there. Uptown, downtown, ghetto garrison, wherever the island we can find it. I know discovering the next Bob Marley or Peter Tosh will never be easy. But come on, you're telling me there aren't 100 human versions of Jah Lion I out there in Jamaica right now? Young singers, young writers, young musicians, just waiting to be heard? Actual people with actual lives and stories? Because there is a time to let Babylon burn. But then you have to build something back from the ashes. So if you know someone, if you heard someone sing, if you have a link to someone genuinely talented artist from Jamaica who deserves to be heard, let us know. Send us their music, and we'll do our best to feature it on an episode of Rootsland. Because the final sound clash is going to be man versus machine. And we're going to need all the heart, all the soul, all the dubs we can to keep that crown. The crown for humanity.